Hello, everyone. I'm happy you are here today. Maybe you are at home. Maybe you are going to work. Maybe you are taking a walk. Wherever you are, thank you for spending this time with English Owl. You do not need to understand every word. Just listen. Enjoy this time. And learn English one small step at a time. In our last story, we talked about 7 days, 1 week, 7 small steps. 7 chances to begin. Maybe you chose one small action. Maybe you walked every day. Maybe you read a few pages. Maybe you listened to English. Maybe you saved a little money. You gave yourself 7 days. And maybe something began to change. Not everything. Not your whole life. Just something small. Maybe starting became easier. Maybe you began to trust yourself. Maybe you thought, I can do this. That is a good start. But what happens next? What happens after 7 days? Do you stop? Do you go back to your old life? Or do you keep going? This is where the next change begins. 7 days can help you start. But 30 days can teach you how to continue. 30 days. 1 month. It may sound like a long time. But do not think about all 30 days now. That can make the goal feel too big. Think about today, then tomorrow, then the next day, 1 day at a time. This is how 30 days begin, the same way 7 days began, with one small action. You do not need a new plan. You do not need a bigger goal. You do not need to work harder. Sometimes the best thing you can do is simple. Keep going. Do the small thing again. This may not feel exciting. Starting something new can be exciting. You make a plan. You feel ready. You think about your new life. But after 1 week, that feeling may begin to change. The action is not new anymore. Now it is just something you do. This is where many people stop. They think they need a new feeling, a new goal, a new plan. But maybe they do not need something new. Maybe they only need more time. Think about a seed. You put it in the ground. You give it water for 7 days. Then you look at it. Maybe you see a small green leaf. You feel happy. Something is growing. But what happens if you stop giving it water? The small plant may not grow. It needs more time. It needs more days. It needs you to continue. Your small action can be the same. 7 days can start something. But the change needs more time. Maybe you listened to English for 1 week. Good. Now keep listening. Maybe you walked for 10 minutes. Good. Keep walking. Maybe you read 5 pages every day. Good. Keep reading. Do not make it difficult. Do not make it bigger too quickly. Just continue. This is important. Many people know how to start. Fewer people know how to continue. Starting is one choice. Continuing is many choices. You choose again on day 8. Then on day 9. Then on day 10. Some days will be easy. Some days will be hard. Some days you will feel strong. Other days you will feel tired. But each day gives you another chance to continue. Think about a woman named Anna. Anna wanted to learn English. She had tried many times before. She bought books. She watched videos. She made big plans. But she always stopped. This time, Anna tried something different. She listened to English for 15 minutes every morning. That was all. For the first 7 days, she felt excited. She was proud of herself. Then the second week began. Something changed. The action did not feel new anymore. On day 9, Anna was tired. She thought, maybe I can stop today. Then she remembered her small plan. 15 minutes. That was all. So she listened. On day 12, she was busy. She only had 10 minutes. So she listened for 10 minutes. It was not perfect. But she continued. After 2 weeks, Anna noticed something. She did not need to think so much before starting. She woke up. She made her coffee. Then she listened to English. The action was slowly becoming part of her morning. This is what can begin to happen during 30 days. At first, you choose the action. Later, the action begins to find a place in your life. You do not become perfect. You do not stop having hard days. But something begins to feel more natural. Think about brushing your teeth. You probably do not need a big plan. You do not need motivation. You do not watch videos about how to start. You just do it. Why? Because it is part of your life. A good habit can begin to grow in the same way. At first, it needs your attention. You need to remember. You need to choose. You need to begin. But when you continue, the action can become easier. This is one reason 30 days can matter. You are giving the action time to find a place in your day. Maybe after breakfast. Maybe before work. Maybe after dinner. Maybe before bed. The time is not the most important thing. The important thing is that you return. Again. And again. Day after day. You may ask, will 30 days change my whole life? Probably not. And that is okay. You do not need your whole life to change. You only need something good to grow. Maybe your English becomes a little better. Maybe walking becomes a little easier. Maybe you save more money than before. Maybe you sleep a little better. Maybe you feel more calm. These changes may be small, but now they have had more time to grow. 1 week was the start. 1 month gives the start more time. This is how change often works. It does not come into your life like a big storm. It comes quietly. One choice, one action. One day, then another day. After some time, you look back, and you see something. You are not standing in the same place. Maybe you did not move far, but you moved. That matters. There is something else that can change during 30 days. You begin to learn more about yourself. In 7 days, you learn how to start. In 30 days, you begin to learn what helps you continue. Maybe mornings are better for you. Maybe evenings are better. Maybe your action is still too big. Maybe you need to make it smaller. Maybe you need more rest. Maybe you need to put your phone away. Maybe you need to prepare the night before. 30 days can teach you these things. Because real change is not only about doing something. It is also about learning how to keep doing it. This is important. You are not a machine. Every day is not the same. Some mornings are busy. Some evenings are tiring. Sometimes life changes your plan. You get sick. You travel. You have more work. Something unexpected happens. A good habit needs to live inside your real life. Not a perfect life, your real life. So during these 30 days, do not only ask, did I do it perfectly? Ask, what helped me continue? That is a better question. Maybe doing less helped you continue. Maybe choosing the same time helped. Maybe preparing early helped. Maybe coming back after a missed day helped. Learn from these things. Your 30 days are not only about results. They are also about learning. You are learning about your time, your energy, your problems. your choices. And little by little, you are learning how to build something that can stay. Think about building a path. On the first day, there is no path. There is only grass. You walk across it once. Nothing changes very much. The next day, you walk the same way. Then again, and again. Slowly, the grass begins to change. A small path begins to appear. You did not build it in one day. You made it by walking the same way many times. A habit can be like this. Every time you do the small action, you walk the path again. At first, the path is hard to see. Then it becomes clearer. It becomes easier to follow. But this takes time. That is why you keep going. Not because every day feels important. Not because every action gives you a big result. You keep going because the path is still growing. Maybe today is day 8. Maybe it feels like nothing is happening. Keep going. Maybe today is day 15. Maybe you are tired. Make the action smaller if you need to. Then continue. Maybe today is day 20. Maybe you missed yesterday. Come back. Your goal is not a perfect month. Your goal is to learn how to continue. This is the heart of 30 days. Continue when you feel excited. Continue when the excitement is gone. Continue when the result is small. Continue after a hard day. Continue after a mistake. Not perfectly. Not quickly. Just continue. Because something important can happen when you give a good action more time. The action can begin to feel different. And slowly, it can become more than something you are trying to do. It can begin to become part of who you are. But how does a small action become a real habit? And why does doing the same thing again and again begin to change the way you live? That is what we will look at next. A habit does not appear in one day. It grows slowly. At first, you need to think. You need to remember. You need to choose. Should I do it now? Maybe I can do it later. I am tired today. Your mind has many reasons to wait. This is normal. The action is still new. It does not have a place in your life yet. But every time you do it, something begins to change. You wake up. You do the small action. The next day, you do it again. Then again. After some time, you begin to think less. The action starts to feel more normal. This is how a habit can begin. Think about the first time you went to a new place. Maybe it was a new school. Maybe it was a new job. Maybe it was a new store. You did not know the way. You looked at a map. You checked the road. You thought about every turn. But after going there many times, something changed. You stopped thinking about every turn. You knew the way. Your body almost moved by itself. The road did not change. You changed. You learned the way. A habit can grow like this too. At first, you do not know the way. You need to think. You need to remember. You may forget. You may make mistakes. But each time you return, you learn the way a little better. This is why doing the same small thing can be powerful. The action may look simple, but your mind is learning. This is something I do. This is part of my day. Little by little, the action finds its place. Maybe you want to read every night. At first, you forget. You go to bed. Then you remember the book. You are already tired, so you do not read. The next day, you try again. This time, you put the book next to your bed. Now you can see it. You read 5 pages. The next night, you see the book again. You read. After some time, sitting in bed and opening the book begin to feel connected. You go to bed. You see the book. You begin to read. You do not need a big plan. The action is finding a place in your life. This is important. A habit becomes easier when it has a place. A place in your day. A place in your home. A place in your normal life. You do not need to find a new time every day. You do not need to make a new plan every morning. Keep it simple. Do the action after something you already do. After breakfast, listen to English. After work, take a short walk. After dinner, read a few pages. Before bed, put your phone away. One action can lead to another. This can help you remember. It can also make starting easier. You are not asking, when should I do it? The time is already there. You are not asking, where should I start? The place is already there. Less thinking can make continuing easier. Think about Anna again. She listened to English every morning. At first, she needed to remember. Some mornings she almost forgot. Then she made one small change. Every evening, she put her headphones next to the coffee machine. In the morning, she made coffee. Then she saw the headphones. Coffee? Headphones. English. The three things slowly became connected. Anna did not need a phone message to remind her. She did not need a big plan. She used something that was already part of her life. Her morning coffee helped her remember her English. This was a small change, but it made continuing easier. Maybe you can do something like this too. Look at your normal day. What do you already do every day? You wake up. You brush your teeth. You eat. You go to work. You come home. You take a shower. You go to bed. These actions are already part of your life. Can you put your new action next to one of them? Maybe after you brush your teeth, you drink a glass of water. Maybe after lunch, you walk for 5 minutes. Maybe after dinner, you save a little money. Maybe before bed, you read. Your old action can help the new action. You do not need to change your whole day. You only add one small thing. This can make a big difference. Because the goal is not to use all your energy every day. The goal is to make the good action easier to repeat. This is something many people forget. They think change needs more strength, more motivation, more hard work. Sometimes it does, but sometimes change needs a better plan. Imagine two people want to eat more fruit. The first person buys fruit, then puts it in a place they cannot see. Days pass. The person forgets about it. The second person puts fruit on the table. Every morning the fruit is easy to see. Which person will remember more easily? Probably the second person. The goal is the same, but the place is different. And that small difference can help. Your environment matters. The things around you can make a good action easier. Or harder. Maybe you want to use your phone less, but your phone is always in your hand. It is next to you when you eat. It is next to you when you work. It is next to you when you sleep. Of course it is hard to use it less. So make one small change. Put the phone in another room for 10 minutes. That is all. Do not fight with yourself all day. Make the action easier. Maybe you want to exercise in the morning. Put your shoes where you can see them. Maybe you want to read. Leave the book on your chair. Maybe you want to listen to English. Prepare the lesson before you go to bed. Small changes around you can help small changes inside you. You do not always need more willpower. Sometimes, you only need fewer problems between you and the action. Think about a door. If the door is easy to open, you walk through it. If the door is very heavy, you may stop. So make the door lighter. Make starting easier. Prepare before you need to begin. Keep the action close. Keep the plan simple. These small things can help your habit grow. But there is something else you need to understand. A habit does not mean you always want to do the action. Even after 20 days, you may feel tired. You may not want to walk. You may not want to study. You may not want to read. That is okay. A habit is not a magic feeling. It does not make every day easy. It simply makes the action more familiar. You know how to start. You know when to start. You know where the action fits. This can help you continue even when the feeling is not there. Think about going to work. Maybe you do not feel excited every morning, but you know what to do. You wake up. You get ready. You leave home. The steps are familiar. You do not need to make a new plan every day. Your good habit can slowly become more familiar too. This is why 30 days can be useful. You have time to repeat. You have time to make mistakes. You have time to learn. You have time to change your plan. Maybe the first time you chose was not good. That is okay. Move the action. Make it smaller. Make it easier to remember. Then try again. You are not only building a habit. You are learning how the habit can live inside your life. This takes time. Do not rush. Maybe on day 10, the action still feels hard. That is okay. Maybe on day 15, you still forget sometimes. That is okay too. Do not ask, why is this not easy yet? Ask, how can I make this easier? That question can help you more. Maybe you need a better time. Maybe you need to prepare. Maybe you need to do less. Maybe you need to remove something that stops you. Look at the problem. Then make one small change. This is how you learn. A good habit is not built by doing everything perfectly. It is built by learning what helps you return. Again and again. Every return matters. Every small action makes the road more familiar. Think about walking through a field. The first time, the grass is high. Walking is difficult. The next time, you take the same way. Then you walk there again. Slowly, the grass goes down. A path begins to appear. Now the way is easier to see. You still need to walk, but you know where to go. Your habit can be like that path. Every day, you walk it again. Some days are easy. Some days are hard. But each time you return, the way becomes more familiar. One day, you may notice something. You did the action without thinking about it for a long time. You simply started. Maybe you opened your English lesson with your morning coffee. Maybe you put on your shoes after work. Maybe you picked up your book before bed. Then you stopped for a moment, and you thought, I did not need to push myself today. That is a small moment, but it matters. The action is finding a home in your life. Do not expect this to happen at the same time for everyone. Some actions become easier quickly. Others need more time. Some people need 10 days. Some need 30 days. Some need much longer. That is okay. There is no magic number. 30 days are not magic. You do not wake up on day 30 as a completely new person. The number only gives you time. Time to repeat. Time to learn. Time to make the action more familiar. Time to understand yourself. That is the real value of 30 days. So do not count the days only to reach the end. Use the days. Learn from them. Notice what helps. Notice what makes things hard. Make small changes. Then continue. Your habit does not need to look perfect. It only needs a chance to grow. Give it that chance. Give it a place. Give it time. Then come back tomorrow and do the small thing again. But 30 days are not always easy. Life can change. Your energy can change. Problems can come. And even a good habit can become difficult when real life gets in the way. What matters then is not how perfect you are. What matters is what you do when the hard days come. 30 days can feel very different from 7 days. 1 week is short. You can see the end. You can count the days. Day 1, Day 2, Day 3. Then the week is almost over. But 30 days can feel longer. The first week ends. Then another week begins. And something may change. You are not excited anymore. The action is not new. You know what to do. You know when to do it. But one day you think, I do not want to do this. Nothing bad happened. You are not sick. You are not too busy. You are simply tired of doing the same thing. This is normal. Good actions can become boring. Walking every day can become boring. Reading every night can become boring. Listening to English can become boring. Saving money can become boring. At first, you think about the future. You think about the person you want to become. That gives you energy. But after some time, you are only looking at today. And today, you need to do the same small thing again. This can be hard. Many people think change will always feel exciting. But real change often has many quiet days. Nothing special happens. You do the action. Then you go to bed. The next day, you do it again. No big result. No exciting feeling. No one says, great job. It is just you and your small action. This is where something important can happen. You can learn to continue without excitement. Think about Anna. She was still listening to English every morning. The first week felt good. The second week became easier. But during the third week, Anna began to feel bored. She heard the same easy words. She sat in the same chair. She drank the same coffee. She thought, is this really helping me? One morning, she almost stopped. Not because English was too hard. Not because she had no time. She stopped because she could not see a big change. Anna wanted a sign. She wanted to feel different. She wanted to know that her work was helping. But change did not give her a big sign. It was quiet. So Anna asked herself a simple question. Why did I start? She remembered. She wanted to understand English better. She wanted to feel less afraid when she heard English. She wanted to keep learning. Her reason was still there. So she listened again. Not for 1 hour. Not with great energy. She simply did her 15 minutes. Then she continued with her day. This may not sound like an important moment, but it was. Anna learned something. She did not need to feel excited every day. She only needed to remember why she started. Maybe this can help you too. When your action becomes boring, go back to your reason. Why did you begin? Maybe you wanted more energy. Maybe you wanted to learn. Maybe you wanted to save money. Maybe you wanted a calmer life. Maybe you wanted to take better care of yourself. Remember that reason. You do not need to think about it all day. Just remember it when you want to stop. Your reason can help you take the next small step. But boredom is not the only hard part of 30 days. Real life can also get in the way. Maybe work becomes busy. Maybe someone in your family needs you. Maybe you travel. Maybe you do not sleep well. Maybe you have a bad day. Your plan was easy when life was quiet. But now life is different. What should you do? Many people make one mistake. They think there are only two choices. Do everything, or do nothing. Walk for 30 minutes, or stay home. Study for 1 hour, or do not study. Read 20 pages, or do not open the book. But there is another choice. Do less. This is a very simple idea, but it can help you continue. Maybe your normal action is 15 minutes of English. Today, you only have 5 minutes. Use the 5 minutes. Maybe you normally walk for 20 minutes. Today, you are tired. Walk for 5. Maybe you read 10 pages every night. Tonight, read 2. You are still keeping the action in your life. You are saying, today is hard, but I am still here. This matters. 30 days are long enough for life to change. You cannot expect every day to be the same. So your plan needs to move with your life. Think about a tree in the wind. The tree does not stay completely still. Its branches move. They move left. They move right. But the tree stays in the ground. Your small action can be like that. The way you do it can change. The time can change. The size can change. But you do not need to leave it completely. Be flexible. Do less when you need to. Then do more when you can. This is not weakness. This is how you make change work inside real life. There is another difficult time that may come. You have continued for many days, but you still do not see the results you wanted. This can be one of the hardest parts. You think, I have been doing this for 3 weeks. Why am I not better? Why do I still feel the same? Maybe you are learning English, but you still do not understand many words. Maybe you are walking, but your body does not look very different. Maybe you are saving money, but the number still looks small. You begin to wonder if continuing is worth it. This is when you need to understand something important. The work and the result do not always arrive at the same time. Sometimes you work first. The result comes later. Think about heating water. You put cold water in a pot. You turn on the heat. After 1 minute, the water is still cold. After another minute, it is warmer. But it is not boiling. You keep waiting. For some time, nothing exciting happens. Then the water begins to change. You see movement. You see bubbles. The heat was working before you saw the bubbles. You just could not see the final result yet. Your small actions can be like this. You listen to English. Your mind is learning. You walk. Your body is working. You save money. The number is growing. The result may be too small to notice today. But small does not mean nothing. This is why looking only at the final result can be dangerous. You may stop too early. Instead, look at what you can control. Did you do your small action today? Did you make it easier when life became hard? Did you remember why you started? Did you continue even when the day was boring? These things matter. You cannot control how fast every result comes, but you can control your next action. Come back to that. Your next action. Not next month. Not day 30. Today. What can you do today? Do that. Then let today be enough. This can make 30 days feel lighter. You do not need to carry the whole month at once. You only carry 1 day. Tomorrow, you carry the next one. Some days will be good. Enjoy them. Some days will be hard. Make the action smaller. Some days will be boring. Remember your reason. Some days will not go as planned. Change the plan. Then continue. This is how you build a real habit. Not in perfect days. In real days. Busy days. Tired days. Boring days. Days when you feel strong. And days when you do not. All of these days are part of your 30 days. Do not think the hard days are useless. They may teach you more than the easy days. An easy day teaches you how to act when you feel good. A hard day teaches you how to continue when you do not. That lesson can stay with you for a long time. Maybe you think strong people never want to stop. That is not true. Strong people can feel tired. They can feel bored. They can lose motivation. The difference is not that they always feel ready. The difference is that they learn what to do when they do not feel ready. Sometimes they rest. Sometimes they do less. Sometimes they change the plan. Then they return. This is a useful skill because life will never give you 30 perfect days. There will always be something. A problem. A busy morning. A tired evening. A bad mood. A change in your plan. If your good action can only live on perfect days, it may not live very long. So let it live on normal days. Let it live on hard days too. Make room for mistakes. Make room for rest. Make room for change. Your plan does not need to be hard. It needs to be something you can return to. Maybe today did not go well. Do not make the problem bigger. Do not say, my whole month is gone. It is one day. Look at tomorrow. What can you do then? Maybe you need to start smaller. Good. Start smaller. Maybe you need to rest first. Good. Rest. Then return. The goal is not to prove that you are perfect. The goal is to build something that can stay. There is a big difference. Perfect action often looks good for a short time. Real change can look messy. You do well. Then you have a hard day. You continue. Then you miss a day. You return. You feel strong. Then you feel tired. You do less. Then you continue again. This is what 30 days can really look like. Up, down, forward, slow, sometimes easy, sometimes hard, but still moving. Do not be afraid of this. Change does not need to be a straight road. You only need to keep finding your way back. Think about your own 30 days. Maybe you are in the middle now. The first excitement is gone. The end still feels far away. This may be the hardest place, but it can also be the place where you learn the most. You learn that you can act without excitement. You learn that you can do less instead of stopping. You learn that slow results are still results. You learn that hard days are part of the process. And little by little, you become better at continuing. Maybe no one can see this change. Maybe you cannot see it clearly yet. But something is happening. You are learning how to stay with a good action. You are learning how to make it work inside your real life. You are learning how to continue when the easy days are gone. And this is important. Because if you can keep going through the middle, you may begin to notice something new. The small action may start to give something back to you. You may see a result. You may feel a difference. And for the first time, the quiet work of many days may begin to show. After some time, you may begin to notice something. The small action is giving something back to you. Maybe the change is not big. Maybe no one else can see it. But you can feel it. Something is different. Maybe you have been walking every day. At first, 10 minutes felt long. You felt tired. You wanted to go home. But now the same walk feels easier. You can walk a little farther. You have more energy. Maybe you have been reading every night. At first, you read very slowly. You stopped often. Now you can sit with a book for longer. You enjoy the quiet time. Maybe you have been saving money. The number is still not big, but now there is more money than before. You can see the result of your small choices. Maybe you have been listening to English. You still do not understand everything. But one day you hear a sentence, and you understand it. You do not need to think for a long time. You just understand. It is a small moment, but you smile. You think, I know that. This is how real change can begin to show. Not all at once, not with a big sign. In small moments, a walk feels easier. A word sounds familiar. A book becomes more interesting. A small amount of money begins to grow. You begin to notice the difference. This is important because for many days, you continued without seeing much. You did the work. You waited. You had boring days. You had hard days. You wondered if anything was changing. Now you begin to see why those days mattered. Every small action was doing something, even when you could not see it. Think about Anna. She continued listening to English every morning. Some days were easy. Some days were hard. Sometimes she felt bored. Sometimes she only listened for a few minutes. But she kept English in her life. One morning, Anna was watching a short video. A woman in the video said something in English. Anna understood the sentence. She stopped the video. Then she played it again. She understood it again. Anna smiled. 1 month ago, the sentence may have been difficult. Now it felt easier. Anna was not fluent in English. She still had a lot to learn. But something had changed. Her English was growing. Slowly, quietly, day by day. That small moment gave Anna something important. She could see that her actions mattered. Maybe you will have a moment like this too. Maybe the result will come in a way you do not expect. You walk up some stairs, and you are less tired. You open a book, and reading feels easier. You look at the money you saved, and you are surprised by the number. You wake up, and your new action feels like a normal part of your day. Notice these moments. Do not ignore them because they are small. Small results matter. They show you that you are moving. Many people make a mistake here. They see a small result. Then they say, it is not enough. They want more. More change. More money. More skill. More results. Of course, wanting to grow is not bad. But stop for a moment. Look at where you started. 30 days ago, maybe you were doing nothing. Now you are doing something. 30 days ago, maybe starting was hard. Now the action feels more natural. 30 days ago, maybe you did not trust yourself. Now you know you can continue. These changes matter too. Do not only look at how far you still need to go. Look at how far you have come. This can help you understand your real change. Imagine you are walking up a mountain. You look at the top. It is still far away. You feel tired. You think, I have so much more to do. Then you turn around. You look down. You see how far you have already walked. The top is still far away, but you are not at the bottom anymore. Your 30 days can be like this. Maybe your big goal is still far away. That is okay. Turn around for a moment. Look at your first day. Look at your first week. Look at the hard days. Look at the days when you wanted to stop. You continued. You learned. You changed your plan. You came back. Now you are here. Be proud of that. You do not need a perfect result to feel proud. You can be proud of your effort. You can be proud of your growth. You can be proud that you did not give up. This does not mean you stop growing. It means you notice your growth before you continue. There is another kind of change that may happen during 30 days. And this change may be more important than the result you can see. You begin to trust yourself. Before, you may have said, "I always stop." Now you have continued for many days. Before, you may have said, "I cannot change." Now you have proof that you can. Before, you may have waited for motivation. Now you know you can act without it. The way you see yourself begins to change. This can be powerful. Maybe you started with a simple walk, but after 30 days, you learned something bigger. You learned that you can keep a promise to yourself. Maybe you started by reading 5 pages, but you learned that you can make time for something important. Maybe you started by saving a little money, but you learned that you can say no to things you do not need. Maybe you started by listening to English, but you learned that you can keep learning even when it feels slow. The action gave you one result, but the process gave you something more: confidence. Not loud confidence. Not the kind that says, "I can do everything." A quieter kind of confidence. The kind that says, "I can take the next step." This kind of confidence grows from action. You do something. Then you do it again. You face a hard day. You continue. You make a mistake. You return. Slowly, you begin to trust yourself. This is real change too. Maybe it is one of the best changes. Because when you trust yourself more, you may begin to look at other parts of your life differently. You think, if I can do this, maybe I can do something else too. This is where one good action can begin to help another. Maybe you started walking every day. Because of the walk, you feel better. You have more energy. Then you begin to sleep better. Maybe you started reading before bed. Because you are reading, you use your phone less. Then you sleep earlier. Maybe you started listening to English. Because you continued for 1 month, you feel more confident. Then you decide to speak a little more. One good action can open the door to another good action. But be careful. Do not try to change everything now. You have learned the power of one small action. Do not forget it. You do not need 5 new habits. You do not need a completely new life. Let the first action become strong. Give it time. Then when you are ready, maybe you can add something small. Think about building stairs. You stand on the first step. Then you move to the next one. You do not try to jump to the top. You move step by step. Good change can grow this way. One action helps you move. Then another action may come later. Slowly, your life begins to move in a better direction. This is very different from trying to change everything on day 1. On day 1, a big plan can feel heavy. After 30 days, a new small step may feel possible. Why? Because now you have something to stand on. You have experience. You know what hard days feel like. You know how to make an action smaller. You know how to return. You know that results need time. You learn these things by living them. This is why 30 days can teach you more than a book or a video. You are not only hearing ideas. You are using them in your real life. And real life teaches you things. Maybe your first plan was not good. You changed it. Maybe you chose the wrong time. You found a better one. Maybe you tried to do too much. You made it smaller. Maybe you missed a day. You learned how to return. Every problem taught you something. Now you know yourself a little better. You know when you have more energy. You know what makes you stop. You know what helps you begin. You know what kind of plan fits your life. This knowledge can help you in the future because your next goal may be different, but many of the lessons will be the same. Start small. Make it clear. Make it easy to begin. Continue on normal days. Do less on hard days. Return after a mistake. Give the result time. These ideas can help you again. Maybe with your health, maybe with money, maybe with English, maybe with work, maybe with another dream. You are learning how change works for you. That is valuable. So when you reach the end of your 30 days, do not only look at the final number. Do not only look at your body. Do not only count the pages you read. Do not only think about your English level. Look at the whole month. What did you learn? What became easier? What helped you continue? What did you do on hard days? How did you change? Maybe the answer is simple. I learned that I can keep going. That is a good answer. Maybe you learned that you need smaller steps. Good. Maybe you learned that mornings work better for you. Good. Maybe you learned that you can miss one day and still return. Good. The month gave you more than a result. It gave you information. It gave you experience. And maybe it gave you more trust in yourself. This is why real change can be hard to measure. Some change is easy to see. More money, more pages, more words, more steps. But some change is inside you. More patience, more confidence, more trust, a better understanding of yourself. These changes do not have a number, but they can still change your life. Think about Anna again. At the end of the month, Anna did not speak perfect English. She did not understand every video. She still made mistakes. But Anna was different. Before, she always stopped. Now she knew how to continue. Before, English felt like something she wanted to learn one day. Now, English was part of her morning. Before, she said, "Maybe I cannot do this." Now she said, "I am still learning." Those words are different. Maybe I cannot do this. That closes a door. I am still learning. That keeps the door open. Maybe this is the kind of change you can find after 30 days. Your goal is still there. The road is still long. But you are moving. You are learning. You are becoming more patient. You are beginning to understand that good change takes time. And because you understand this, you do not need to rush. You do not need a huge result today. You can continue. One small action. One more day. One more step. Then, after 30 days, you can stop for a moment. Look back. See what changed. Notice the results. Notice the lessons. Notice the person who continued. And ask yourself one final question. What do I want to do with this change now? Because day 30 is coming. But the end of 30 days does not need to be the end of your action. It can be a door. And what you choose to do after you open that door may be the most important part of all. Day 30 is here. You made it through 1 month. Maybe the month went well. Maybe it was harder than you expected. Maybe you did your small action almost every day. Maybe you missed some days. Maybe you changed your plan many times. That is okay. Your 30 days did not need to be perfect. They only needed to teach you something. So before you think about what comes next, stop for a moment. Look back. Think about your first day. Maybe starting felt difficult. Maybe you were not sure you could continue. Maybe you felt excited. Maybe you had a big goal in your mind. Then the days began to pass. 1 day, 2 days, 7 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, then 30 days. During that time, life continued. You had good days. You had hard days. You felt strong. You felt tired. Sometimes you wanted to continue. Sometimes you wanted to stop. But now you are here. What did you learn? This is an important question. Maybe you learned that you can continue longer than you thought. Maybe you learned that small actions work better for you. Maybe you learned that you need a simple plan. Maybe you learned that hard days are normal. Maybe you learned that you can change your plan and still keep going. Maybe you learned that results need time. These lessons matter. Do not only look at what you got. Look at what you learned. 30 days can give you both. A small result and a better understanding of yourself. Maybe your English is a little better. Maybe walking feels easier. Maybe you saved some money. Maybe you finished a book. These are good results. Enjoy them. Be proud of them. But also look inside. Are you more patient now? Do you trust yourself a little more? Do you understand what helps you continue? Do you know what makes you want to stop? These changes matter too. Sometimes the biggest result is not something other people can see. It is something you feel. You know you can begin. You know you can continue. You know you can have a hard day and return. 1 month ago, maybe you only had a goal. Now you have experience. That is different. A goal says, I want to do this. Experience says, I have done this. Think about that. You have proof now. Maybe the proof is small, but it is real. You gave something 30 days. You gave it time. You gave it effort. You learned. You changed. And now you need to decide what comes next. There are many choices. Maybe you want to continue the same action. Good. Keep going. Maybe you want to make the action a little bigger. Good. Grow slowly. Maybe you learned that the action was not right for you. That is okay too. Choose something better. 30 days are not a prison. You do not need to continue something that does not help you. The goal is not to do the same thing forever. The goal is to learn. Then use what you learned. Ask yourself a few simple questions. Did this action help me? Did it fit my life? Can I continue? Do I want to continue? What should I change? Your answers can help you choose your next step. Maybe you were walking for 10 minutes. Now 10 minutes feels easy. You can continue with 10 minutes. Or you can try 15. Maybe you were reading 5 pages. Now reading is part of your evening. You can keep going. Maybe you are listening to English. Now the action feels normal in your morning. Keep it there. You do not need to change something just because 30 days are over. If it works, let it work. This is important. Many people finish a goal. Then they stop. They think, I did 30 days. I am done. But what happens next? Slowly, the old life can return. The old habits come back. The new action disappears. This does not mean the 30 days were useless. But maybe there is another way. Instead of asking, when can I stop? Ask, how can I keep this in my life? That question can lead you forward. Maybe you do not need to do the action every day now. Maybe 3 times a week is enough. Maybe you want to keep doing it every morning. Maybe you want to make it smaller again. Find a way that can stay. Because a good change becomes more powerful when it stays with you. Think about learning English. You do not learn English for 30 days and then stop forever. You continue. Maybe some days you study more. Some days you study less. Sometimes you take a break. But English stays in your life. That is how you grow. The same can be true for many good actions. Walking, reading, saving, sleeping better, using your phone less, taking time to rest. The goal is not to finish these things. The goal is to make a better life. And a better life is built over time. One day at a time. One choice at a time. One small action at a time. Maybe this sounds slow. It is slow. But slow is not bad. Slow change gives you time to learn. It gives you time to make mistakes. It gives you time to find what works. It gives you time to grow. Think about a river. A river does not move a mountain in one day. The water keeps moving. Day after day. Year after year. Slowly the land changes. Your small actions can work in a similar way. One action may not look powerful. One day may not feel important. But when the action continues, it can do more than you think. This is why 30 days can open a new door. You started with something small. You gave it time. You continued through easy days and hard days. You learned how to make it fit your life. You began to see results. Now you are standing somewhere new, not at the end, at another beginning. Maybe this is one of the most important things to understand about change. There is no final day when everything is perfect. There is always another step, another lesson, another choice. You do not need to be afraid of that. You do not need to think about your whole future. Just think about the next step. What can you continue? What can you improve? What can you make easier? What can you learn next? Keep it simple. You have already learned how to do this. Start where you are. Use what you have. Take one small step. Then continue. Maybe your next step is another 30 days. Maybe you want to give your action more time. That can be a good choice. Because some changes need longer. Maybe 1 month helped you start a habit. But what could happen after 2 months? What could happen after 3 months? You do not need to know the answer now. You only need to understand what is possible. 30 days can be the beginning of something much longer. Think about Anna. 30 days ago, she wanted to learn English. She had tried before. She had stopped before. This time she started small. 15 minutes every morning. She had easy days. She had boring days. She had busy days. Sometimes she listened for less time. But she continued. At the end of 30 days, Anna looked back. Her English was not perfect, but she understood more. Listening felt easier. Some words felt familiar. And most importantly, English had a place in her life. So Anna asked herself, what should I do now? She did not make a huge new plan. She did not say, now I will study for 3 hours every day. She made a simple choice. I will continue. That was all. Another day. Another week. Another month. Anna understood something now. She did not need to rush. She only needed to keep moving. This can be your choice too. Keep moving. You do not need to move fast. You do not need to do more than everyone else. You do not need to show your change to the world. Your life is yours. Your change is yours. Your small actions are yours. Let them grow in your own time. Maybe someone else changed faster. That is okay. Maybe someone reached a bigger goal. That is okay too. Come back to your own life. Look at your own 30 days. What did you do? What did you learn? How did you grow? Start there. Then take your next step. There is no need to compare. There is no need to hurry. Good change takes time, and you have time. You may think, but what if I stop again? Maybe you will. You are human. Life changes. Problems come. Old habits can return. But now you know something important. You know how to begin again. You know how to make the action smaller. You know how to find a place for it in your day. You know how to continue on boring days. You know how to change the plan on hard days. You know how to wait for slow results. You learned these things. They are part of your experience now. So if you stop one day, do not think everything is lost. Use what you learned. Then begin again. Maybe the next start will be easier. Because you are not starting with nothing. You are starting with experience. That matters. Think about your life 1 year from now. Where do you want to be? Maybe you want to understand English better. Maybe you want to feel healthier. Maybe you want to have more money saved. Maybe you want to read more. Maybe you want to feel calmer. A year may feel far away. Do not worry about the whole year. Remember how you came this far. 1 day, then another. 7 days, then 30 days. You can continue the same way. Do not carry the whole future today. Carry your next action. That is enough. This is how small changes can become big changes. Not because one action is magic. Not because 30 days can fix everything. But because one good action can continue. It can become part of your day. Then part of your week. Then part of your month. And slowly part of your life. This is where real change grows. Quietly. Slowly. Inside normal days. Maybe no one notices at first. That is okay. Keep going. Maybe the result is still small. That is okay too. Keep going. Maybe you still have a long way to go. Of course you do. We all do. Keep going. You are not trying to finish your whole life. You are trying to live it a little better. 1 day at a time. So when day 30 comes, celebrate the small change. Look back. Be proud. Learn from the hard days. Remember the good days. Then look forward. Not too far. Just one step. What will you do tomorrow? Maybe you will do the same small action again. That can be enough. Maybe you will make one small change. That can be enough too. You do not need a huge plan. You already know where huge plans can lead. Keep it simple. Keep it real. Keep it close to your life. Then give it more time. Maybe 30 days helped you begin to change. What could happen if you continued for 90 days? 3 months. More time to learn. More time to grow. More time for small actions to become part of your life. You do not need to think about all 90 days now. Just remember the possibility. 7 days can help you start. 30 days can help you build. And more time can help that change grow deeper. But every long journey begins in the same place. Today. This day. This action. This choice. So come back to now. What is your one good action? What have you been doing? What do you want to continue? Choose it. Then give it another day. Do not ask for a perfect future. Do not ask for fast change. Ask for one more chance to continue. You have that chance today. Use it. Then tomorrow, use it again. This is how a month becomes more than a number. It becomes experience. It becomes learning. It becomes trust. It becomes change. 30 days may not give you a perfect life, but they can give you a new direction. They can show you that small actions matter. They can teach you how to continue. They can help you understand yourself. And they can open the door to something more. So do not only count the days. Use them. Learn from them. Grow through them. Let the easy days help you move. Let the hard days teach you. Let the slow days build your patience. Let the small results give you hope. Then keep going. You started with one small action. You gave it 1 week. Then you gave it 1 month. And now you know something. Change is possible. Not all at once. Not perfectly. But slowly. 1 action. 1 day. 1 month. And maybe one day you will look back from much farther away. You will see the person you were. You will see the first small step. You will remember the day you began. And you may understand something important. The big change did not begin with a big action. It began with one small choice. And you kept going. Thank you for spending this time with English Owl. Thank you for listening. Thank you for learning. And thank you for taking another small step today. Take good care of yourself. Keep learning. Keep growing. Remember, 30 days are not the end. They can be the beginning of something more. See you in the next story.